You are welcome to the midweek service of Life of the Spirit Sanctuary, the Yotta Church. Over here, we delve into issues relating to our Christian life. Everything that affects our Christian lives, we talk about it over here. And as usual, we have our man of God in the house to help us understand what God is trying to tell us, how He is guiding us in our journey as Christians. Today, our topic of board is, should a man be financially stable before entering into a relationship? Because I say, any man I say, Berman is car, own to me, entering plan, own to me worry. It's in one, and some very rare questions I was in one cast as some in general, no one is saying.
Okay, so Yadanyamiase, and I greet everyone that is watching this particular session. I would say that we are not talking about a boy here. We are talking about an adult male.
Yes.
Okay, an adult male. Someone who is supposed to be taking good care of himself. Someone who is supposed to be providing for himself. Okay, so we are talking about Obi Otimi Hwɛ. Okay, someone who can buy his own food, someone who perhaps can do some basic things for himself. We are not talking of too much. We are talking of responsibility. Okay, and when we talk of responsibility, we are not only looking at money. Okay, so when we say that should a man be financially sound before he goes into a relationship, what are we really talking about? We are trying to say that the man should have what he can use to take care of himself. The word of God says, love your neighbor as yourself. That means if you cannot love yourself, then you cannot love another person. So we are saying that a man should be able to buy his food, take care of his hospital bills. I mean, some basic things. Everyone needs help. So at a point, everyone would need help. But if you are not able to do these basic things for yourself, I don't think you are ready to start a marriage-oriented relationship.
Okay. Man of God, but financially sound and after financially stable, at what point, at what level do we say somebody is financially stable? Like, kasano say otumito ni otumi hwɛ ne ho. It's if I say, let's give a scenario. A young man, maybe in his mid-20s, if you are rented apartments or 2 years, if your salary work, you pay around 1,500. So 1,500, then you bet to me at to and all those stuff. But over relationship, it's the end result is marriage. And no, do you think he's financially stable? Because 1,500 to me as Sony Baba, baby to me as Sony Baba.
1,500 Ghana cedi. The preamble you are giving now. So we are. When I was speaking before, I spoke about responsibility.
Yes.
And also I spoke about something that has to do with maturity. So this is responsibility. Responsibility is that I earn 1,500 Ghana cedi. So I have decided that if it's possible, when going to work, maybe my other colleagues will pick a commercial car, but I've decided to work because I know what 1,500 can do and what 1,500 cannot do. I know if I pick a car, that will cost my in and my out to be like 10 Ghana cedi every day. 1,500 Ghana cedi at the end of the month will become very little for me to use for anything. So responsibility here is that, okay, if I can walk at least for the in when closing and I'm coming back home, I can pick a car. That reduces my transportation expenses to 5 Ghana cedi. So we are talking of responsibility because a man can be earning even 5,000 Ghana cedi. If he is not responsible, he can never be financially sound. Being financially sound is not just about making a one-time money or a certain kind of income that you are. It also has to do with responsibility, how you share your responsibility, how you go about your responsibility. Because if you are earning even 10,000 Ghana cedi and you are not responsible, you are not matured, you can never use that money to an extent that it brings you financial freedom. So financial freedom has to do with attitude. Your attitude determines the kind of freedom you enjoy financially. So a man can be earning about 500 Ghana cedi. I will advise, if a man is in Ghana and is earning 500 Ghana cedi, I don't think he should meddle too much into a romantic relationship.
I think that will lead me to
I'm coming. I am trying to bring up something for the man, okay? Because if I'm earning 500 Ghana cedi, it means my life is under pressure already. Now, when I meet a woman, I think I like the woman. I think I'm of age. I'm at that age that I can actually be seeing someone. We can be talking. We can be friends. We can be talking. I think I should also look at the kind of woman that I want to talk to, that I want to be in that talking and that kind of atmosphere with. Because you see, you can be earning that amount of money, but then you can also find a woman who can be of support to you. So it is a progression. It is a progression. It is not something that we attain it in just at once. Okay, so when we talk of relationship, going to tell a woman that I'm interested in you, I want us to be in a relationship, I think first of all you have to look around you before you take that step. There's this scripture in the Word that talks about a man who goes to build a house. Does he not sit down to count the cost? Before you build something, you have to sit down and do some calculations. Relationship is a building. You are building something. So you have to sit there and count the cost. What will be the cost? There is surely going to be a cost.
Man of God, also my example, we say Bema Ewo Ghana has it. That's all any 500 cedis. You won't advise because already now life near under pressure. Mm-hmm. But what if say I know be a bed D, I don't know if I say it that way. You know be able reach some level of financial security and sana you free yes.
Okay.
And if in this case there's a man who is above or on the 30s more, on the 40s more, and he's earning 500 cedis still. Abrabono egusu channel yemba still at that point now, unforgo the aspect of getting married and everything. It be na onya or ba or better na say. Unforgo no on tiny baby in say.
Mankasa, we say me kind responsibility and then maturity. Why should you? We are talking about maturity. At the age of 30, 32, 33, why should you be spending 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. working on a job that gives you 500 cedis at the end of the month? Why should you be doing that? You are causing more harm to yourself than good.
But I think in this economy, I think there will be examples like that.
Yes, so this is where I come in again, and I'm talking of maturity. As I'm here, if I'm 35 years old, and I'm working on a job that gives me 500 Ghana cedi, and I work from 9 in the morning or 8 in the morning to about 5 p.m. What am I doing? I have to stop that work. It's a prison. I won't quote it. I'm trying to say that if you're a man and you are in that kind of a situation, stop the work. Go and look for something else to do. You will die there. How much is a bag of pure water? It's 10 Ghana cedi. Deduct 10 Ghana cedi from 500 cedi. That's 499.
And in a month, definitely no more than one.
Exactly. How much will you pay for your transportation? How much will you pay for your light, your water? From 9 in the morning to 5. So I'm saying that if You see, when I started talking, I spoke about a matured adult, an adult, a male adult. You have to take decisions which all surmounts to maturity. 9 in the morning to 5 p.m. 500 Ghana cedi, and you feel comfortable doing that work. It means that you cannot even take care of a woman. You cannot take the decision and say that if I'm in this relationship and things are not working, I have to call it quits. Or you cannot take the decision and say that this relationship, this and this will help me. You have to take a decision. You cannot be doing that work and expect to reach financial independence. It won't work.
I think that clears it. Now, my last question, which is the most controversial, was something we say in the secular language, say, Debi, and I think women of these days tend to shy away from Emema Omundi, let me use that word again, because Osro say, on netina, no, Buana, now more build do baby, a bear man in yes, can you have who say, Mianca Sacran come for about to see, come for about to see, go Muja, when Ja also an edge say. Which year no offer.
You see, Ed didn't say who will be subayin how the person will become in the next 5 or 10 years. Meshia or many John home apel wapene so or Ed didn't say you would come to know or you would come to see what I will become in the next 5, 7, 8 years. Me subai me ne ye send ye nemetie into the next 10 years, in the next 8 years, the next 20 years. Send ye metie no mesesa be ye den. It's difficult to know. Very, very, very difficult to know. Though there are things you can see in a person that can tell you what they will become. Many a times, the things that you see, don't look down on it. They will become bigger. Whether it's good or it's bad, it will eventually become bigger. So, a woman not wanting to start from the scratch with a man is even a questionable character.
On the woman's side?
Yes, it's a questionable character. It shows a woman that cannot build with you. If it's so difficult for you that if the man that God will give to you is a man that have to start from the scratch, when we are talking of material possession, if it's difficult for you that the man that God will give to you, you will start from the scratch with him, then you have a questionable character. What happens if he has it all? We're talking of material possession. He marries you. You are in the same house, everything is working for you, and then suddenly an unfortunate incident happens and he loses everything. Will you go or will you stay? It can happen.
Yes.
It happens. Yes, it happens.
But I think that a man fear no more need to say no.
There is risk in everything in this world. In everything that we are doing, there is risk. People go to school and they get all sorts of accolades and all sorts of degrees and all. It's a risk. Everything in this world that we are doing is a risk because we don't know what will happen tomorrow. As we sit here, none of us has any idea of what is going to happen tomorrow, except the one that God will reveal. Whether it will rain tomorrow or not, we don't know. Even these meteorologists can predict. What they do is they predict. Per the science and what they see, they predict.
It's not set.
But at times, it doesn't happen like that. We miss it. They miss it. So you can't tell what will happen. But we are talking of character. We are talking of responsibility. We are talking of maturity. So I'm saying a woman that is afraid to start from the scratch. What is your reason? Have you had a history of starting from the scratch and it didn't end well? When you started from the scratch, what were you doing? Now look at something. A man can take care of a woman from the scratch, he's not afraid. 99%. Why are women afraid? Yes. That you see, I always talk about women and they think I don't like women. A man can pick a woman who is coming from a poverty-stricken house, take care of that woman. The man is not afraid. The man does it even at the expense of his family. Adia one farmer ne busu obetimi dia mo saoba no eni ne busu afo onsuro oye ba mo dia de na busu. That shows what you are being fed with.
Yes, I think that's the underlying problem.
You see, why is it that when a man is doing it for a woman, he doesn't fear that even they can advise this man, and fan of him, he would just go all out and what? And do it. He's not afraid. But when it comes to the woman is afraid. That should tell you the kind of information you are feeding yourself with. And I'm saying that as you are helping a man to build from the scratch and to build him, you to build yourself, so that in no capacity can he not want to have you at any level. Because when he looks at the brand that you have also built for yourself, whilst you were helping him to build his, he looks at your brand, he looks at his brand, and he cannot in any way try to disconnect from, because you've become a brand, a global brand, a recognizable brand. So whilst you are helping the man to build from the scratch, and you see most of the times when you are building with the man on scratch, the attention is on the man, and the woman is more like a supporter, a backing. Yes. So whilst you are building the man, you too consciously build yourself, so that the man at some point cannot look at you and say wakechi. That's what mostly happens. You see, whilst in high school, I realized that most of my teachers, their wives were selling around the school campuses. They were selling food for the students, rice, beans. They were selling. They were just petty traders. Even they were petty traders, and their husbands were teachers, were scholars. Some were teaching and even pursuing more degrees and more, and their wives were there at the canteen there and were selling all these things. I believe some were even using the monies that they get from the selling of the food to support. Yes. Are you seeing the imbalance here? So these men, when they reach that high level of life, they meet their colleagues, the other women who are also in that cycle. They look back at home and they see, I will not use excuse me because the truth, the smelling bean selling woman who stands beside the fire with the smoke and the sweat and self. He looks at him and he looks at that woman that he finds himself with, is immediate, and he sees that I can't go back into he forgets everything. Okay, but then if that woman has built a brand, while she was taking care of the man, if he has built a brand, the man will look back and he will see a big brand at home.
That's true. Oh, no, powerful for crying.
Exactly. Oh, who powerful for crying now? Or a beer, a wolf, and then a pay. And I said, singing po. So that fear of women being afraid to start from the scratch is a selfish attitude. When we turn the case around, men are not afraid to take care of women. Nanse muna mama e meme ni ate. Se almost say the other be sure ba ka fato aponchi na nyen. Ana fato akoko na nyen. Ade ntira sa saying no wo. That saying is there. Ade ntira wo. Hope you get my point. So me say a man, say a man no mistake come here be fitafo or a fiteni or a mason or a truck driver or a mate. Or be hwe so na sika na wenya no Obedi be any license.
And
now they be about to be alone, not their pecker, which you know, the back of Bano. Not the Obani co school. Where Jimmy? Wo buana mana co school, no so wow. Oh yeah, mate, your license, peka, the better yourself. Better yourself. Oh yeah, mason, better yourself. Man, so it's getting in uncle swap mortar and swap blocks. Yet you might a really so a really. Oh, the boy is not buying the wig. Wig do better to talk about, but also then I will am home. Build a brand. Then you become financially sound, and then you see, what is the mindset that the woman going to the relationship is concerned about the money of the man? What mindset is that? They are going to relationship. Oh, Jesus, Beman was sika. Oh, di ni sika ni beye den. Ni sika ni inti na wo be peneswa na den. Hey, adwin fi be no. Hey, serious oh. Or dream, Beman wa be pemen e wo sika. Onis ka enye me peneso. Odi ni sika be he de. Obedi, nes wo bedi. Nyame ehu. Until I'm saying, Beman, you have to be man, you have to be responsible. We are responsible. It's easy for you to detect a woman that is coming in for what you have. And I'm repeating again, a woman that is afraid to start from the scratch will run away and leave you when there is problem. He will show his true characters to you when there is a problem. If you are not even careful, your children, you will think you are raising your own children, but it will be someone's children.
Hey, same way you start here. I'm saying time we really are bounding. Yeah, be possible hakaka. I believe we've all learned a lot. Personally, I've learned that as a man, you have to be matured. It's not really about your finances, but how matured are you? How are you even handling the little finances that you have? And are you responsible? And as a woman, you should also make sure that you're not going into a relationship looking at what the man has. And if you're going to help somebody build their life, make sure you are building yours too. Also for Pacho, or finishing lines, then what do you close?
So my finishing line is this: 1 for the woman and 2 for the man. So as a woman, when a man comes to you and proposes to you, stop looking at his money. His money is not your prime focus. God brought in a woman into the scene to be a helper to the man. So it means if I am a helper, it means there is something that I have that I'm bringing into the scene to support whatever is happening there. But here comes the helper coming to parasite. The helper has no help to give. Many women are empty. They are just there waiting for a man to see them, pick them and marry them and take. They don't have anything to offer than to just make babies. They don't have anything to offer.
I think on one of our sessions, you're going to talk about what exactly a woman should offer to, because there's a lot of questions.
Yes, that is the only thing. So as a woman, you ask yourself, when the man comes to me to propose to me and I like him, what is driving my likeness for him? Am I genuine about my heart for him, or I am motivated by his material possession? If that is I'm thinking material possession are temporal, because they can either increase or decrease or remain. Okay? Material possessions are not static. They move. It's like a currency. Money is a currency. It moves. Understood? So you put yourself in a position that you would work, you would have your own space, do something for yourself, so that when a man comes to you, his material possessions, his car, whatever he has, will not lure you Most women are lured. It is after marriage that they realize they were lured. They were lured by some benefits that they were getting from some men. Now, young man, check your responsibility ratio, check your maturity ratio, and also check the kind of woman you are going in for. Because sometimes you may have nothing, but the kind of woman you go in for can help you to realize who you are and have something. And then when that woman helps you, don't disappoint her. This is what we are talking about, responsibility. If you are responsible, you will never betray a woman that helped you. If you are responsible, you will never lie, betray her, and do all sorts of things to her. That's what I'm talking about, responsibility. Responsibility means I remember you. I know what you put into my life. I know what you invested in my life. I am responsible. So I cannot let that your investment go waste. Adentina, mamre muno, se bema ni oba bi tina na sanko ya, ye se bema ni nsu oba no. Onsu na dentia because oba na brain na ono wo ho no. Wa ye bibi di aboa nti se wo so mpani bi ma na bibi aba na mu ntina bi ma sumu no. Yetimi ka se tonto mama, yetimi ka se be a shop man, yetimi ka se ye bibi na fa sumu no. Fa danase, fa show appreciation. Wan ye yetimi ye num ye di wechi. So this is my two advices. Young man, look at the kind of woman you are going in for. Is very, very important. And then be responsible, be matured. So that even if you are starting small, because you are responsible, you will grow. It's a progression. You will grow. And because of the kind of woman you are going in for, that you can have a help from that woman. Because women are helpers. So that's what I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, man of God.
You're welcome.
I hope we are all blessed. Aside learning, we are all blessed. Thank you for feeding us with this much wisdom. Let us know your comments. Let us know your questions, your suggestions in the comment section. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook at the Yotta Church and on YouTube as the Yotta Church. Then Instagram, the Yotta Church Official. Yes. And yes, so we are going to see you on our next session of our midweek, and we promise the topic is going to be just as interesting. We hope you were blessed. I was blessed. Thank you, Mother.
You're welcome.
See you next week.